Morning everybody and welcome to my channel. My name's Elaine and I'm Ellie Welly Stitcher, both here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. How is everybody? I hope you all had a good new year, and it seems like ages ago now, doesn't it? So we're not party people in my house for New Year. We did stay up till midnight because the elder of my two dogs, my boy dog Prince, he's really frightened of fireworks, really frightened of them, and people didn't seem to just wait until midnight around here on New Year's Eve. There was fireworks going off from the minute it got dark in the evening, and he was absolutely petrified, really petrified. So I had no chance of going to bed before the fireworks died down eventually at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. So it was pointless trying to go to bed because he puffs and pants and he shivers and shakes, and for a 55-kilo dog he turns into a quivering mess, and I've tried absolutely everything to get him over it. He's had thunder jackets, he's had calming tablets from the vets, but you know, he's nearly 12 now, and if I'm honest, I don't think, it doesn't seem to matter what I do, he's not going to get over it. So we just have to kind of sit up with him really, and I have to give him lots of cuddles, and then eventually he calms down, but it takes days for him to get over it. As soon as it turns dark again in the evening for the next few days after the fireworks have happened, he goes back to being a quivering mess. He thinks they're gonna start up again. So yes, so our New Year was, we did have a couple of glasses of wine, but yeah, like I say, I think my days of partying are not entirely over. I do like a good party now and again. Not that I've been to one for a long time, but yeah, we didn't do any partying on New Year's Eve. So what have I been stitching? So New Year's Eve was the last time I filmed, and that was my Flosstube extra where I did my WIP parade. And hasn't there been some amazing WIP parades? I absolutely love this time of year, just settling down and watching, you know, people do their WIP parades. So I've watched quite a few, and I've still got lots more to watch, if I'm honest. And I'd quite like to find some new Flosstubers to watch, because I've got all my regulars that I absolutely love, but I'd quite like to promote a few new people as well. So WIP parades that I've watched Debbie at Creatively Yours. She did a really good WIP parade. I watched, who else have I watched? Kaylees Stitches, she did a really good WIP parade. Jemima the Rockin' Stitcher, I always love her WIP parade that she does each year. Who else have I watched? Oh God, goodness. I have watched quite a few anyway. I'll have to write a little list of all the ones that I've watched, I think. To Martini Stitcher, I watched hers, which was so long, it was in 2 segments, but it was really good. And I shouldn't watch them really, because I just end up getting completely enabled. And I know that's the whole point, but still, never mind. Okay, so yes, I've been watching everybody's WIP parades, and that's been really good. My stitching, personally, I thought that sort of on the run into Christmas and then the New Year, I had quite a lot of time off of work, and I thought I'd get loads of stitching done. And I haven't. My stitching has been a bit sporadic. I seem to have gone a bit feast or famine really. So, you know, one day I've stitched loads, and then another day I really haven't felt like stitching at all. And I think partly it's because there's been a couple of good drama series on TV, and I'm not a massive TV person, but if I am going to watch something, I can't stitch because I'm not really watching what's going on the TV, and B, I end up getting engrossed in whatever it is on the TV, and I end up making mistakes, and then the frog comes for a visit. So So yeah, so I got a bit involved in watching a couple of dramas on the TV. So I've been watching the latest Harlan Coben series on Netflix called Stay Close. I just finished that yesterday actually, and I've watched all of the ones that Netflix have showed of his, and they're really, really good, really good. So I've been a bit gripped by that. And then ITV had a series on, I think it was before Christmas, but I only just kind of discovered it on ITV Hub, and it was called Anne, and it was about one of the mothers who lost her son at the Hillsborough disaster. And it stars Maxine Peake, and she was really, really good in it. So I kind of got engrossed in watching that. So stitching has kind of, like I say, been a bit feast or famine, because I have stitched quite a lot on some things, and then I've had whole days where I haven't stitched. So I have been keeping up with my book of days, which I started on the 1st of January, and here's what mine looks like so far. So I've done a bit of Brenda and Laura, and started putting some stickers in from, I've got both the antiquarian sticker books that you can buy on Amazon, and they're really good. So I just, on the days that I didn't stitch at all, and there's been 3, so I'm filming on a Monday, by the way, and not a Saturday. So on Saturday, because I hadn't done so much stitching as I thought I should have done really, I didn't really feel like I'd got enough to show you, so I didn't film on Saturday. And the other reason I didn't was, normally I'm at work on a Monday, but this week I've got Monday off. And I thought, well, while my husband's at work and the house is nice and quiet, I'll film on a Monday, because when I come to upload my video, hopefully the internet will be quicker, because if my husband's home, he's a bit of a gamer, so he has all these games and on the, obviously using the Wi-Fi. So if I then go and upload a video, it just chunders. The whole Wi-Fi just slows right down, and it takes me about, usually it takes me about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours to upload video. So I'm hoping, he's at work today, so by the time I finish filming this and I upload it, he'll still be at work, so it might be a bit quicker. So yeah, so I had 3 days where I didn't stitch, that's all, just these 2 days here, which was a Monday and Tuesday, and I think I was quite busy at work and I just got home and didn't feel like stitching. And then yesterday, and that was because I was busy watching the rest of that Harlan Coben series on Netflix, so I had a bit of a Netflixy day. But apart from that, I have stitched every day. What I haven't done is stitched so much on all of my full coverage. I've kind of made a bit of a decision about how I want to stitch my full coverage this year. So let's do it. So let's do my WIP update first, and then I have got quite a bit of haul to show you, because I haven't shown you any haul since before Christmas. I've got a couple of plans for next month really, or maybe even later this month, because we're only halfway through January. And I've got, what else have I got? I've got the giveaway winner of my project bag, so I just drew that this morning. And oh, and I've got a book recommendation for you. So I did mention a book on, I think it was my last WIP update, not the WIP parade, but the one before that, where I recommended a non-fiction book. And today I've got a fiction book for you. So if you're interested in that, I'll tag that on at the end. If you're not interested, then you can switch off before then. Okay, so let's start with my WIPs. I hope the lighting's okay, by the way. It seems to be the case that every time I film, the sun comes out. Not that I'm complaining that the sun's out, and it is actually a beautiful day today. It's absolutely freezing cold, hence why I've got quite a thick jumper on, but the sky is as blue. I took my dogs out over the fields this morning. It was really frosty, and but really sunny as well, and my dogs absolutely loved it because they love it in the cold, and it was just a real pleasure to be out in the sunshine. So, but it's not so great when it comes to trying to film Flosstube. So I have already closed the curtain so that I haven't got to keep getting up and down, but I don't know, this is showing up quite dark at the moment, but usually by the time I upload it to YouTube, it evens itself out a bit, or it seems to. So we'll see how we go with that one. Right, anyway, I digress. Let's get on with showing you my WIPs. Feels ever so weird, you know, filming on a Monday. Really, really strange. Right, anyway, here we go. So, the first one that I stitched on since I last did a WIP update is Magic Forest by Ciro Marchetti. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And this is where it is now. So since you last saw it, I did about 500 stitches on this one. I've been coming down here and working on this. This is a bird which has kind of come in quite quickly on this piece. So I'm quite pleased with how this one's coming along. And this one I'm stitching on 28 count easy guide, and it's 2/1/10 stitch. So yeah, I haven't had this one out now since just between Christmas and New Year. Between Christmas and New Year I had it out. And I'm doing this one as a stitch along with Jemima the Rocking Stitcher, and there is a sal for this on Instagram. It's just magikforestsal, and there's quite a few people that are stitching along doing this now, some of whom are a lot further ahead on it than I am. So yeah, so that's where we are at with Magic Forest. So quite pleased with that. And the colours on this, I don't know if it's showing up that great on camera, but the colours are just lovely. They're so vibrant, so colourful. So really enjoying that one. Excuse me for the bending over bit, you know, but you know me, I keep my WIPs down on the floor. Okay, so the next one I worked on is my New Year's Day New Start. So I will put a picture in of what this one looks like when it's completed, and obviously there isn't a picture of it from last time because it was a new start on the 1st of January. So this is the first time I've done a chart from unconventional cross stitch. So this is Alice in Wonderland, and the artwork is by Adrian Border, who I have a real big thing about. I have to say, I really love his art. It's really quirky. Anyway, hopefully I've put a picture in of what it looks like when it's complete. And here's where I am with it so far. So far I've done 3,000 stitches on this one. So this literally was, I started it on New Year's Day, and I proper went to town on it for at least a week, because twofold really. A, it was a new start, and there was an awful lot of navy stitching in here, and I'm just coming into the beginning of what I think is I can't remember if it's a little worm thing on top of a toadstool, but yeah, we're getting to a bit of an exciting bit now, so quite pleased about that. This is the regular version. There is a sal for this, well, not specifically this, but for any Adrian Border artwork that you might be stitching. It's called Notbordathissal, and I will put it down in the show notes below. But it is a sal that's going on Instagram. A few people are stitching this, so I started this with Kaylee Cruyff on Instagram, and also Linda's 144 Hobbies. Linda started before us, but Kaylee and I held off and waited till New Year's Day. New Year's Day, we were going to do a bit of a Zoom meeting, which I was really looking forward to, but I ended up having some unexpected visitors on New Year's Day that I wasn't expecting. So my start on New Year's Day was a bit mediocre, because I did start it, but I literally probably only put about 100 stitches in it. And then the next day, the 2nd of January, I went hell for leather and did like 1,000 stitches or something in a day. So yeah, so this one has had quite a bit of my time. It is on 28 count, and it is 2/1 10 stitch, and this I think is my biggest project. I think I'd have to check, but it's between this one and Magic Forest anyway. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. The reason why I wanted to get to 3,000 stitches wasn't just because this was a new start, but this was number 2 for me on WIP Go. So my number 2 was to stitch 3,000 stitches on any full coverage project. So it kind of worked out perfectly, actually, to obviously do this as a new start and get a good start with 3,000 stitches on it. So really pleased with that one and the way it's coming along. And then the next full coverage that I had out after that one was cheese delivery. So I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time and what it looks like when it's finished. So we all know this is my favourite project. I did put quite a bit of work into this one. So here's where cheese delivery is now. So I've been working over this way, I've been coming down here, I've done some of this wooden frame around the door here. It probably doesn't notice so much, but I've done a little bit more on these cheeses as well. So overall I've put in 1,500 and something stitches, 1,550 or something on this one. So really pleased with how it's coming along now. The idea was, or is, that I want to bring this side down and obviously this middle bit until we're kind of matched up along the bottom here, and then I'll come back over this side again. I love cheese delivery so much, and I know it's a big favourite with a lot of you as well. So yeah, really pleased with the way cheese delivery is looking. So that's that one. And then the final full coverage project that I worked on, and I've only had this one out for 2 evenings last week. It was my plan to stitch on it over the weekend, and then I got a bit involved in watching Netflix and it didn't happen. So you may not notice too much some progress with this one, but I am going to keep this one out at the moment. So this is Feast. Again, the artwork's by Chris Dunn and it's charted by Pain Free Crafts. Can't remember if I said that about cheese delivery, but I think you know that. Anybody who's watched me regularly knows about cheese delivery, and probably this one as well. So Feast, like I say, I only had out for 2 evenings. And here's where it is now. This is so much confetti, you wouldn't believe. Seriously, it really is. There is not a single big block of colour going on with this at all. There really isn't. It's proper. I mean, Alice, I was quite lucky with Alice because there was quite a lot of blocks of just 1 or 2 colours. This one, there's hardly any of that. It's kind of confetti from the word go, and particularly around this hair. So I've come over a bit more on his ears. I've started to come down here on his body, etc. now as well. And I can't quite decide which way to go. I don't know whether I want to come down for a change instead of just going across. I don't know. Haven't quite made my mind up yet, but I've put 550 stitches into this one so far, and this one is gonna stay out a bit this week as well, so I can get a bit more progress on it. So that is a feast. Oh, and this one is 1/1 full cross, by the way, on 28 count. Okay, being very forgetful today, aren't I? Not very professional of me. Right, okay, so then what did I work on? Right. Okay, so the next one I worked on is my Mirabelia Lady of Mystery. And I will put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And I've just realised that I haven't taken out a picture of what it looks like when it's finished. Oops. I'll try and put a picture in. I'll take a picture and put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished. Normally I show it to you, but I've forgotten. Not very well organised at all, am I? Must be Monday. It's that Monday feeling. So anyway, here she is now. And what I've been doing with her is I've carried on doing her hair. I haven't done any more anywhere else. All I've done is her hair. Right. And it's while I was doing her hair that I realised I made a massive mistake. Oh, I tell you, this piece will be the bane of my life, seriously. First, for anyone who's new to watching me, I had issues because I was doing a skim 1/1. That didn't work out for me. I made a mistake, had to frog it all out and go back and do it 2/2, which I did. And we've been trucking along quite well ever since until I stitched on this the other day. And I started stitching her hair because I thought I really need to get this hair done. Her hair is nearly done now. She's just got so much hair, lucky lady. But I was stitching away on her hair and I thought, I'm using the wrong colour. Oh no, I'm using the wrong colour. So the symbol for the bulk of her hair is a triangle. Now the chart has got 2 triangles on it. Well, no, I say triangles, they're like an acute angle. So one of them is facing to the left and the other one faces to the right. And I've been stitching her hair in the symbol that faces to the left. And it was only when I glanced at the chart the other day and I thought, that's not right. It isn't right. I should have been stitching her hair in the triangle that faces to the right. So the triangle that faces to the right, that some of her hair is in, some of her hair, it is in different colours as well. Some of it's in 310 black, some of it's a couple of lighter browns. But the predominant colour is 938, which is a brown. Now, I haven't been using that. I've been using Karen Water Lilies 096, which is the triangle that faces the other way. That is, some of it's in this bouquet and some of this border here. The colour for that particular Karen Water Lilies is, it ranges from like a really dark grey black through to a really tawny brown. So in actual fact, when I step away from it and look at it, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at all. in actual fact it probably looks nicer than if I'd stitched it in the block. It looks like she's got lots of low lights. So, you know, who wouldn't want a few low lights? So am I going to take out that silk? No, I am not. All I've done is, because I know I've used a lot, it does take a lot of it, so because I've used a lot of it, I've had to order another skein of 096. But yeah, I thought, blimey, and I've been stitching away on this hair for a few weeks now and not even realised, didn't even occur to me, and it was just by chance that I looked at it the other day and thought, hang on a minute, I'm supposed to be stitching that in 938. Oh well, never mind. This piece clearly, you know, that makes her unique to me, doesn't it? So this piece clearly is going to be the bane of my life, as I say. Anyway, I am stitching this one on a 28 count even weave in the colourway cream, and I'm using almost all the called for colours, but maybe not in the way in which they're called for. So there's a couple of Karen Water Lilies and DMC, but I'm not using 310 black, I'm using Anchor 403 black. So that is where she is at. So the saga of Lady of Mystery goes on, basically. Okay, so that's her. And then I wasn't going to show you this one because I haven't really done a lot with it, but I thought, oh, I'll just because I have done a bit more on it, I will just bring it out and show you. So the next one I worked on is my Long Dog sampler. This is Spirit of Clanfair PG, and I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time and also what it looks like when it's finished. And like I say, I haven't done masses with this one, it's just been backstitch basically. I haven't done any more cross stitch on it. So here's where it's at now. So I had to backstitch this still, and I hadn't done that, so I came back, backstitched this, backstitched in this little spoon here, and that is literally all I've done with it. I really want to get this one out again actually. So this one is stitched on 28 count even weave in the colourway Knox, which is from Chromatic Alchemy, and I'm stitching this one using Dinky Dyes in the colourway Robin's Egg, Quicksilver and Ghost Gum, and the variegated is a Mrs. No, it's not Mrs. Sadas, XG Designs silk in the colourway Peacock Fuchsia. So yeah, I really want to crack on and see if I can finish this one this year. So it needs to have a little bit more of my attention than what it has been having. So yeah, and oh, and I backstitched on the whiskers of the little mouse up here. There's a little mouse up there. So you probably can't see that properly, but yeah, so that's where that one is at. So then the next one that I worked on is one of my new pieces. So this piece is by Lindy Stitches and it's called Mary Mary Needleworker, and I'll put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished. And I haven't got masses to show you on this one. Here's where I am with it now. So as you can see, I've put in the word grow. I put this in once and then had to frog it out because I'd messed it up. So yeah, the frog came for a little visit. I'd got too much of a gap between the O and the W and it was really noticeable. And I'd put these 3 letters in as well, so I had to take them all out and start again. So this is stitched on 32 count, and I think I told you a fib on my on my WIP parade, because I think I said this is stitched on light mocha, and it isn't. It's platinum. So this is 32 count Belfast Platinum by Zweigart, and I am using all of the called for floss, and they are a mix of Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colourworks and DMC, I think. But this colour here of her dress, I mean, it's a huge dress. It's going to take me ages just to do the dress, but I love this colour. This colour's so pretty. It's Weeks Dye Works colour, and it's called Sea Foam, and I just love it. So, and the nice thing with this chart as well, she gives you, it is Pattern Keeper compatible, and she gives you two choices. You can either stitch the day version, so obviously with a lighter fabric and lighter colours, or there's a night version as well. So yeah, really like it. This is not the called for fabric. The called for was Picture This plus Bramble, and I have got some, but I didn't have a big enough piece for this, so hence we use this one instead. So I really like stitching this. If you want to just, you know, like I'm doing this big old dress at the moment, and if you feel like a bit of mindless stitching, well, that's the thing. So that's that one. I'll put that back up there. Then the next one I stitched on, I am doing a stitch along with Ali Stitcher on Instagram. So you know Ali and I are regular, well, they're start alongs really, because Ali's normally miles ahead of me. But Ali and I are stitching the Snowflower Diaries Joyful World, which were free charts that the Snowflower Diaries brought out on a blog spot. I think they came out in 2016, so they're a few years old now. And I did finish, we're trying to stitch one a month, like a month ahead of when they're required. So I've already stitched January, but I haven't fully finished it yet. You saw January on my WIP parade. And the reason I haven't fully finished it is because I had a bit of a saga with the material that I wanted to use for it, and I'll show you it I will show you it in a minute. So I'm now on to stitching February. So I'll put a picture in of what February looks like. And these little charts, they're so cute. So we have got a sale going for this one. It's Snowflower Stitch Sal, and I know a couple of other people are stitching along as well. So Nikki Angel, she's stitching along with us on Instagram. So I am not using the called for. So the called for are mainly gentle art threads, and I've used what I've got in stash, and mostly I've used Our Forest embroidery threads because I've got quite a lot of spare ones. So here's where I am with February at the minute. So I've done the two ducks, aren't they cute? And I'm so not observant sometimes. I'm really not, but it wasn't till I started stitching up this plant here, and there's going to be another one the other side, that I realised the leaves on the plant are little hearts, and I thought, oh yeah, February, Valentine's. So I am stitching this on a 32 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, and like I say, I'm using a real like mix up of floss, literally whatever I've got to hand. So mostly Our Forest. There is some DMC in this one as well, and there's even some mystery floss too, which I think the darker green is, well, it's not a CXC thread, but it's a Chinese mystery floss. It stitches up okay. It's a bit fluffy for my liking, but it's fine for a little project like this. If I'm really honest, I'm not 100% sure that I will finish all these, but I'm not 100% sure that I am gonna end up finishing them within the month each month, because I am finding that, if I'm really honest, a bit hard going. These take a bit more stitching than you would think that they do, and there's a couple of times I've resented picking them, this one and January, up, because I didn't really want to stitch on it, but I felt if I didn't stitch on it I was going to fall behind, and I don't like feeling like that. So I may end up, and Ali knows me well enough to know that I'm not the greatest at finishing things quickly, so I will plod on with them throughout the year, but they may not. This may not be finished by February. So that's where we are with that one. And then the final piece that I stitched on since I last saw you is a finish. It's not FFO'd yet, and if you follow me on Instagram you have seen my finish over there. So number 19 on my WIP Go board was to stitch on a summer project for 5 days. So I have stitched on this one. So this is Crochet Gogos curder levant. I will put a picture in of where you saw this last time. And this is what it looks like now, and it is finished. So I'm really pleased with this. This is my first finish of 2022, and yeah, and I really enjoyed digging this out and stitching on it again, because we've had some really horrible, grey, miserable days this month, and actually to get out something summery and stitch on it has been a real pleasure. So it took me 4 days of stitching to finish it off, and by 4 days I mean sort of a few hours here and there, but it is finished now. Now originally I was going to make this into a pillow, but I've changed my mind and I might finish it in a hoop instead, actually, because I've got an idea to I've got some really nice like lilac-y coloured ribbon that I could put round the hoop with some bows, and I just think this would go really well in my bedroom, because my bedroom's like lilacs and greys. So I'm thinking I might finish it in a hoop and put it in my bedroom. It's just a little bit too big for what I'd want for a pillow, if I'm honest. So anyway, this is stitched on 32 count vintage marble by Zweigart, and I've used all of the called for DMC apart from one where I stitched the word lavender. So when I stitched in the white stitching on that bow down the bottom and then that heart in the middle, the word in lavender should have been in white as well, but I didn't think it would show very well. So again, in my Chinese mystery floss, I had like this paler green, and I thought, oh yeah, maybe the greens would go quite nice instead, and at least it would show up more. So that's what I did. So yeah, so this piece is finished. I'm really, hopefully next time you see it, it'll be fully finished. So yeah, so that's where we are with that one. What do you think? If it were you, would you do it in a pillow? Would you do it in a hoop? What do you think? I keep umming and ahhing, because I have got some backing fabric which I've had for ages that I was going to put on it as a pillow, which is like a silver grey velvet. But I could just as easily put a silver grey, oh sorry, Flosstube itchy nose. I could just as easy put like the velvet backing on the hoop, couldn't I? Don't know. What do you think? Give me your words of advice on that one. Okay, so that was my finish. Okay. And that was all my stitching. So I'm going to move on to haul and plants because the two kind of go together quite well really. So let's do, I've had quite a bit of haul. I didn't really get very much anything cross stitchy for Christmas. Well, I'm not going to show it to you because we all know what a cone looks like, I think. But I did get, my husband did buy me a cone of DMC 310 because I thought I've got so many black stitches, I might just as well get a cone and be done with it. And he asked me what I wanted for Christmas and I said, would you mind getting me a cone of 310? So he got me that. Apart from that, I got, I won't show it to you because it's not exactly an exciting present to show you, but it was something I wanted. I got a little iron wool mat. I'll show you, actually it's behind me. I got a little, one of these mats. It's still got the Christmas sticker on it from my son and my daughter-in-law. Sorry, it's a bit glary. But it's a thick wool mat and I've got a little iron to go with it so that when I'm making project bags or ironing, cross stitch, etc., I haven't got to keep going downstairs, getting out the big ironing board, and I've got one of those steam generator irons which is brilliant for, you know, heavy duty clothing, etc. But it's just a pain to keep getting it out. So this, I asked if I could have this for Christmas, and my son was a bit like, that's not a very exciting present, Mum. And I was like, yeah, it's for me. So please, I'd like one of those. So I can do some ironing in my craft room with my project bags, etc. So that was that. That was all I got present-wise. Everything else I bought myself. So okay, so oh, I had one piece of happy mail. So Crafting Kirsty, who's got a Flosstube and is on Instagram as well, she did a 12 days of Christmas thingy where she very generously gave away a chart every day for 12 days over Christmas. And all you had to do was comment on the chart each day if you wanted to be in with a chance of winning it. And I won one. I was really chuffed. She gave away some really amazing charts, really lovely. So the one that I won was this one. So thank you, Kirsty, if you're watching. So it's by Jars and Privé, and you know I love farmyard animals, etc. And this one is basically a farmyard pyramid, is what it's called. Pyramid of the farm. So there we go. And it's a nice little stitch, this one, and I think this would look quite nice as a pillow with like maybe a red gingham backing on it. So I will stitch that at some point. So thanks, Kirsty. Now, I think it's the first time I've won something. I was really chuffed. So yeah, so thank you for that. And then I've bought a few bits and pieces. While I'm talking about Instagram, actually, let me move on to this one because I really want to show you this. So my friend Kaylee from Canada, some of you may know, she has a shop, and I've kept a note of her shop. I will put it below as well. It's called the Sewing Shop Inc. Hopefully you can see that. So Kaylee makes amazing project bags, and if you've watched Linda's 144 Hobbies a few episodes ago, Linda showed one of Kaylee's bags, or a couple of them, and I thought I'd show you the one that I've bought from Kaylee, and I am super pleased with it. So here it is. Obviously it's vinyl fronted, as you can see, and it's got this amazing, I absolutely love horses, and it's got this lovely sporting scene on the back. of all the horses and the jockeys. And I just like it's such a good size bag. It's got a nice sturdy handle on it, and it was really reasonable. She put a nice little tag on it as well, and it's just a super size bag. Now I don't put my full coverage projects in project bags because I keep all my floss for them in bobbin boxes, and to be honest with you, they don't ever come off a Q-snap, so I don't have any need to put any of those in one of these. I have got a project that is going to go in this, which I'll talk about shortly. But yeah, if you do put your heids etc in project bags, these are ideal. I mean, they're just a brilliant size. So, you know, go check out Kaylee's shop, because yeah, she's got some great stuff on there. So she makes different size project bags, different shapes. I think she's got like round ones on there. Yeah, go check her out. So she's got some great stuff, and they're super well made, much better than mine are. But yeah, so I bought that off of Kaylee, and she very kindly put in a couple of bits and pieces that I wasn't expecting with it. So she put me in some, she clearly knew that I needed quite a lot of 310 black, because she put me in about 6 skeins of it. But she also put me in a bit of fabric to use as well. Isn't this nice? So Kaylee dyes her own fabric too. This one's called Blueberries, and this is an Ada. I don't know what count, because I'm not really an Ada stitcher, but it looks fairly small, so maybe an 18 count, maybe. But anyway, I'm sure I can find something to stitch on that at some point, but I really think it's rather nice. And for Ada, this is really soft, really nice soft Ada. So yeah, I'm sure I can find something to stitch on that. So yeah, as I've said, go check out Kaylee. She's got some great stuff. And I was so surprised at how quickly her parcel arrived from Canada. So it took a week. I haven't even got stuff that comes from the UK that's as quick as that. So yeah, really pleased with that. Okay, and then because you know it was Christmas, so I went on a bit of a shopping spree myself. So I bought a couple of needle minders. I bought 3 actually, but one of them is on a project at the moment. So the ones I bought, and these all want to stick together, I should have separated them. So this little one here is Lily of the Valley, and these are good strong magnets, and they're finished really nicely on the back with a little button that says handmade with love. And then I got this one here. I haven't got a Wizard of Oz project, but I saw these little red Dorothy shoes and thought, oh yeah, I really like those, they're cute. So if I ever do a Wizard of Oz project, I've got the perfect needle minder for them. So these needle minders came from Cornflower Studio on Etsy. So she's an Etsy seller down in Cornwall, and they came really nicely packaged in little organza bags, and yeah, and they're really nicely made. So really pleased with those. So I got those, like, you know, obviously I really needed more needle minders. And then I went on a bit of a chart blitz. So I'm sorry that these are going to be in the plastic, so if they're a bit glary, I apologise, but I bought 3 Mill Hill kits. So this year I want to make some Mill Hill ornaments. So if you remember, on my WIP parade I had finished the Mill Hill kit that I worked on last year, and it's now got pride of place in my kitchen. So I thought I would like to stitch some Mill Hill ornaments. So that come Christmas this year, I've got some little ornaments that I can hang on my tree, etc. So I bought 3 from Hawkins Hobbies. So I got this one, which is so cute. It's called Merry Moose. Isn't he sweet? From Mill Hill's Winter Holiday collection. And this one comes with a little magnet, which I think I'd rather have it as a hanging ornament, but it does come with a magnet with it. But yeah, isn't it cute? I can't decide which one of these I want to start first. So that was that one. And then this one I really liked as well. This one's from their Snow Crystals collection, and it's called Ice Crystal. And I think Stitching Mummy did this one, or she did one very, very similar to it. But my Christmas decorations are like icy blue and silver and white, so this really goes with that. I don't know whether I want to do this one first. Oh, it's so hard to choose. So that's that one. And then the final one that I bought is from their Sleigh Ride Ornaments, and this is Celestial Sleigh. And again, it's a bluey and silvery one. They're just so cute, aren't they? So, and I am not fooled into believing that they're a really quick stitch, because I know full well that they're not. So, but yeah, I've kind of got the beading. Since I beaded that Mill Hill kit, I've really got a bit the beading bug. So I am going to start one of those sooner rather than later. Then I bought a few more charts, so I will show you this one, but I mean, I think every man and his dog has seen this chart. So this is the fox from Cottage Garden Samplings, and like I've seen lots of them stitched up already, lots of people showing this, lots of people starting it. I'm not going to start them this year. I'm going to leave them a while. I have actually got the Mirage fabric that I could use for this, but I do have one of the colours called for is chalk, and I have got that, which is a gentle art thread, but I haven't got burnt orange, and it's not available anywhere because obviously everybody's been buying it. So I have ordered these there's 12 in the series. They're called A Year in the Woods, and I have ordered them as an auto ship from the Patchwork Rabbit. So I'm not in any hurry to get them. Like I say, I won't stitch them this year, but I do love that fox, as does everybody else. And I know the next one for February is the swans, which is just as beautiful. So they will get stitched someday, but just not now. And then I bought this one. This is from Raise the Roof Designs, and I'd had my eye on this one for quite a while. So this is Witchy Washy, and sorry it's a little bit glary, but I don't really want to take it out of the wrapper at the moment. So I got this one from the Nimble Thimble, and this one has some buttons with it, and it comes with the buttons from the Nimble Thimble. So the buttons, it's the button packs from Just Another Button Company. So I don't know when I'm going to stitch this, but when I was doing the Great Floss Drop trade, one of the floss drops lots that I received was pictures of this finished, that somebody had finished, and I loved it then and thought I really want to stitch that. So yeah, it's a really nice fun little stitch. So I got that. And then one of my viewers, and she's Stitchy Quinn on Instagram, I think on my last update video, or it might have been the one before that, I can't remember now, I mentioned that I really would like to do Blackbird Designs Midnight Ride if I ever could find the chart. And she DM'd me on Instagram and said, I don't know if you know, but Trudy at Jeff P. Smith has got Midnight Ride for sale. And I was like, right, drop everything, get on it, eBay. So so I got Midnight Ride. So thank you very much, Stitchy Queen, for that tip off. So I have it now, and I just love that bird. I love it. And this must be calling to me, you know, because I have got all of the called for gentle art threads already, so I could stitch this now. I don't think I'm up to finishing it in a sewing box, but I could finish it in a hoop or something, couldn't I? But yeah, I really, really, really like it. So thank you for that. And obviously, because while I was on there, one chart can't possibly travel alone, can it? I got another blackbird design. So I bought one of the Anniversaries of the Heart series, and I know a few people are stitching the whole series, but I don't want to stitch the whole series, but I did like this particular chart. So this one was the first one, Snow Garden, and I really think it's pretty. So yeah, so yes, I've been on a bit of a buying splurge with charts. Fabric wise, I have bought a piece of fabric, and it is, so we'll move on to a bit of plans at the same time actually. So the piece of fabric that I've bought is from Chromatic Alchemy, and look at this, guys, just look at this beauty. How gorgeous is that? And it's huge. Look at that for a piece of fabric. So so this is I hope you can see it okay. It's like blues and a deep purple. So this fabric is for a specific project. So this is called Owl's Dark Magic, and it's a 32 count even weave, like I say, from Chromatic Alchemy. And I was looking for the perfect fabric to go with this silk. So I've had this silk for quite a long time. It's a Mrs. Sadas silk, and it's called Scale, and it's very much like greens and lilacs. And I think it goes with this fabric really well. And these two, Kaylee, are going to sit in that big project bag, because this is the fabric and floss that I'm going to use for Long Dog Samplers, the pointed fifth, hence why it's such a big piece of fabric. And even then, I think I've only got a 2-inch border allowance, because this is the biggest piece of fabric I could get from Chromatic Alchemy, and it's left me with a smaller margin than I would normally have. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, but that is for that basically, and they're going in that gorgeous project bag. So so that's one thing. And then, because I finished my Crochet Go-Go piece, I wanted to start something else, but I wanted to start something springy, and it was a bit of a toss-up what to start, and I have had this one on my mind to start for a while. So I have just ordered all the floss that I need for this, and I've ordered some fabric because I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for in my stash. So this is from Scattered Seed Samplings, and it's called Shelter from the Storm, and it's this one, and I think it's a really cute pillow. So this calls for 32 count Wheats Dye Works in the colourway Straw, and I couldn't get it anywhere. Can't get it anywhere, so I have ordered a Fibre on a Whim fabric from Peakside actually, along with, this is all Classic Colourworks, Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, and I had got a couple of them, but the ones that I'm missing I have ordered from Peakside. So hopefully when they come I will start that as a little spring project, because I haven't got much in the way of spring. So I've done 4 days. I've got 1 day to go on WIP Go for summer projects. And I think I'm going to pull out my Cricut collection summer and do a day on that. Like I say, I've actually really enjoyed stitching summer in the middle of winter. It's been a bit bright and cheery, so I might do that again sometime. So so that's that one. And then the only other bit of haul I had was a couple of bits of fabric. So I decided, let me just get it a minute. So I showed you in my WIP parade that I'd finished January by Snowflower Diaries. Here it is, just to remind you. Believe it or not, I had ironed it and it's got creased up again now. And I wanted to, I'm going to finish it. So Miss Sarah showed an easel finish that she's doing for her Crochet Go months that she's doing, and I liked that finish and decided to do it for these Snowflower Diaries ones. But I couldn't find the perfect fabric that I wanted for January, and then I thought about it and thought I'm going to put a tartan fabric with that, because January, you know, Scotland probably more than anywhere celebrates, like in January, what with obviously Hogmanay and all that kind of stuff. And I think Burns Night is in January. I'll stand corrected if I'm wrong, but so I thought, oh, I'll, you know, the perfect fabric's got to be some tartan, isn't it? So I ordered some tartan, and I wanted a predominantly green theme to go with that, running through the tartan. And when it came, it was more, had more of a purpley feel to it. So I had to order some more fabric. So this is the one that I've now got that I'm going to back that January with. And I think it will go really quite well. What do you think? I think it will go quite well with that. I really do. Anyway, it took ages to come. It took 2 weeks to come, and it only had to come from Wales. So there you go. Canada 1 week, Wales 2 weeks. So that took ages to go, and I'd almost given up the ghost with it. So that's why January hasn't been FFO'd yet. I also bought another piece of fabric to make some more project bags, because, you know, you can never have enough project bags, can you? So I've got this. It's still folded in half. It's quite a big piece of fabric, but this is Alice in Wonderland fabric. Isn't it cute? So I'm going to make some project bags at some point with that. Okay, and that's all of my haul and plans. So let's move on to my giveaway. So, talking of me making project bags, I was giving away in my last update a project bag, and the winner has the choice of either this one, which is got a little reindeer charm on it, and that's what the back looks like. So it's a pink one with polar bears and foxes and owls and things on it, or this one, which is a red bag, and this one's got some little bells on the puller, and then the back of this one has got gonks on it, and this one's in red and grey. So the winner of my project bag giveaway is Jodie Walker. So congratulations, Jodie. I am going to put I'll put a picture in here of the winner so you can see I drew it this morning. Congratulations, Jodie. I know that you're a regular viewer of mine, so I'm really chuffed that you've won something. Please let me know whether you want the pink one or whether you want the red one. Let me know your address and I will get that sent out to you later in the week. Okay, so because we reached 800 subscribers, so can you believe I suddenly had a little bit of a injection of subscribers. We bounced along at sort of 797, 796, and it kept going up and down, and it did go up to 800, then it went down again, and you know, you think, oh, some people clearly don't like me, I'm going to leave it for a little while. And then suddenly I had a few people that have mentioned me, and I know a couple of people have mentioned me recently, so thank you, those of you that did. I know Lauren at Flossabilities did, and I know that Jemima the Rocking Stitcher did. So thank you very much, and I know other people have as well, so thank you. You know, I'm not massively into subscriber count, if I'm honest, but it is nice to know that you come and visit with me, and so thank you to all the new subscribers that I have picked up. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button and liking what you see, and for those of you that have been with me for quite a long time now, it's a real pleasure. So this is what I decided I'd like to do for my 800 subscriber giveaway. So whichever one of these bags Jodie doesn't want, so Jodie, you have first pick on whichever one of these you'd like, I will give away the other one. Okay, so the word to be entered for the draw for the other one is going to be bag. So just use the word bag somewhere in your comment. Just write bag if you want to, and you will win whichever one of these Jodie doesn't want. Okay, so I mean, they're both nice bags. I personally would have either of them, but I will ship anywhere in the world, so you know, that's not a problem. So you can be wherever you are in the world, doesn't matter. Usual blurb applies, you know, please be over 18, please don't mention the words giveaway, raffle or any of that in your comments, and I will draw the winner on my next video in a couple of weeks or so time. So yeah, so Jodie, get in touch with me, let me know which one you want, and then the other one will be up for grabs. Okay, so that I think is all I've got cross stitching wise, guys. So I thought this is going to be a really short video today, because I thought I haven't got that much cross stitching this time. Oh my word. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so I've just got one more thing. So for those of you who don't want to hear about my book recommendation, thank you for dropping in and spending some time with me, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. For those that are interested in my book recommendation, so I did tell you once before that I am a prolific reader. So, you know, the other thing I really enjoy, apart from a bit of cross stitch and knitting, is I do love to read, and I always have a book on the go, always. So I could not imagine my life without books in it. So I always have a non-fiction one on the go, and I gave you a recommendation for that a few weeks ago. But I wanted to recommend a couple of fiction books that I have read over the last year that have kind of stuck in my mind because I really, really enjoyed them. So these were a set of 2 books, and they're by an author called Minette Walters. So the books, and I will put a picture in, but the 2 books that I'm going to recommend are called The Last Hours, is the first one in the series, and the second book is called The Turn of Midnight. So basically, they're 2. Minette Walters is one of my favourite authors anyway. I've always liked her books. And she used to be quite a prolific crime writer. So she's written a lot of crime stories. And if you're into crime and you haven't read any of her books, give them a go, because they are well written and they're really good. But this was taking a different turn for her. So the 2 books that I'm recommending to you are historical novels, and they are set in England during basically during the plague, during the Black Death, during the Great Plague, so in medieval times. And basically it's the story of, and how true does this ring, this certainly resonated with me. So this is a story about one lady, bearing in mind it's medieval times, so you know women didn't generally speaking have much influence in those days, and how she protects her castle basically, and all her people that work her land, etc., how she protects them from the Black Plague. You know, it resonates a bit true, doesn't it, with these days. So how she kind of gets them to isolate really from the rest of the world. So like I say, there's 2 books in the series. The first one's The Last Hours, the second one's Turn of Midnight. They're both about the same story basically, and it's a really good read, So if you like historical fiction that is loosely based on events at the time, then I would really recommend those 2 books. She has got a brand new book out that came out I think at the end of November last year. She seems to have gone into historical novels now, because the latest one I think is called The Swift and the Harrier, which is again a historical novel. I haven't read it yet. It's on my list to read, but I'm in the middle of reading a fiction at the moment that was recommended to me by Angela, one of my viewers, called Rock, Paper, Scissors. So I've nearly finished it, Angela, and I think I can see where it's going, the plot of the story, but yeah, it's quite good. But anyway, that's my recommendation: Minette Walters, The Last Hours and Turn of Midnight, if you are looking for something to read. I do believe they're both available on Audible as well, if you wanted to stitch along to them. Anyway, that, guys, is it for me. We are 1 hour and 10 minutes in. It's probably going to be about 1 hour and 15 by the time I edit this. So, Jodie, please get hold of me. Congratulations on my giveaway. For everybody else, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're not a subscriber and you like what you see, then, you know, hit the subscribe button. I'm sure you hear that all the time, but I'm very grateful for everybody who watches me. And I will see you in probably about 2.5 weeks or so. So happy stitching, guys. Take care for now, and bye for now.